It is Wednesday, and I just got to say, welcome to the G Code. In today's G Code, you're going to be in for a treat. It's all about taking a leap. Yes. Have you ever taken a leap in life and decided to just go all in on something and deciding not to even look back, even once things don't go as planned, or once you had $500 to your name going into a whole nother city that is miles away from your hometown, and then having to send back 400 and you're left with 100 and you decide to make it work? Yeah. In this G Code, you're going to get to know about a beautiful young lady who chased after her dream, and now she is something I like to call a dream catcher and sure enough a go-getter. Well, it's time for us to jump into this G Code. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, and of course on SoundCloud. And don't forget to download the needed app so that you can listen to us, and make sure you share, you subscribe, and you continue to listen. Once again, as always, me, ADRI.V, the Go-Getter. Welcome to the G Code. Hey, what's up, my go-getters? It is I, me, ADRI.V, the Go-Getter, and welcome again to yet another episode of the G Code. I believe this is episode number 21, and we've been doing this for a minute now, so it's so exciting as we come up with a new year with bigger and better things. And today, I'm bringing to the mic a real dope chick. I'm really digging into my past and bringing forth these other phenomenal women, go-getters, mover and shakers, who are out here getting it, who have really been going hard after their dreams and their goals. And I just knew it would only be right for them to get inside the G Code. So today I'm bringing to the mic, stepping to the stage, the king, the one and only Miss Zenova. King, hey boo.
Hi, my love. That was a sweet introduction. You are nothing but sweet to me, as always.
Girl, you've been sweet from jump. It's a beautiful thing when you're able to connect with folks while we're in our heydays of college with braces and everything on, and and so
that was me,
right? Humble beginnings. And so now look at you. Now, for those who don't know you, tell them who the heck is Zenova King.
Oh my goodness, Zenova King, a sweet young lady from the Bronx who loves God and does everything with her heart. That is me.
Yes.
The young lady who's from the Bronx, who went to school in Boston and now lives in Los Angeles. And, I'm a dreamer, follow my dreams, and I'm everything. I'm just like the girl next door.
Yes, you are. You are definitely everything. And I love to be able to just watch your dreams unfold and you just step into new and creative things. And I get a chance to see it all on Instagram. And so what I love about the G Code, because we get a chance to talk about the pretty, the ugly, and the grind. So as I talk about social media, the pretty is we're posted up, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're looking fly. And that's the pretty. Folks see us in our glory of the grind, right? But then there's the ugly, which is the behind the scenes of the nonstop, no sleep, running off a Red Bull. That's normally my go-to drink. Just the continuous of keep going until something happened. And of course, the grinding aspect. So we're going to talk about all of that. And as we jump into the pretty, I got a chance to come to one of your events in Toronto. Thank you so much for the invite. And it was
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely, 40 ounce and waffles. So let's talk about that. And then we're going to really jump into how did that even come about? And initially, matter of fact, let me just rewind. What did you decide to do coming out of high school? Because we both interned at BET. And so
okay,
let's just start from there, because I don't even want to jump into 40 ounce and waffles yet until we get to bedrock.
Okay. So in high school, I knew I was going to work in entertainment. I worked at Cold Stone Creamery, which is like an ice cream store on 42nd Street. And I knew that's what I was going to do. I understood the barter system. I kind of got to work with different people from MTV, TRL at the time. And I kind of understood this world where it was fun, it was exciting, but they were still at work, which was fascinating to me at the time. So in high school, I was like, when I graduate, I'm going to intern at BET. I'm going to go to college, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do mass communications. In my head, I thought I was going to be a star. I'm like, I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to be on radio.
Yes.
I was convinced, I was sold, and I was very fortunate because I am from New York, so I was at 106 in Park in TRL from an early age, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Carson Dailies, and when Lala was there, and when Free and AJ was there, and, you know, at the very tender age of 16, I remember Free looking at me like, talk to this G-Unit video. So I was in the mix early. So I always knew I was going to be in the mix somehow, some way. So my degree is in mass communication with a concentration in public relations.
Public relations. And so, you know, fast forward from interning at BET, after you graduated from college, you know, what was some of the things that you got into and the opportunities that were presented to you that you took on?
Honestly, I graduated Mother's Day. It was like a May 9th, 2010 on a Sunday. And May 1st, I was offered 2 jobs.
Oh, wow.
So I lived in Boston, and again, I worked for a station, Hot 97 Boston, and the DJ I worked for, I interned at the time, his name's DJ Chubby Chub. He's actually the first DJ to put Jay-Z on a mixtape, so I take that serious. I'm very proud about that.
Shout out to Chub.
Yeah, so I became his co-host, you know, before graduation, and then I worked at Mass Appeal Entertainment, which was a small indie label in Boston. So basically, anyone who was dropped from a major label, we basically took you on, like a Noel Bourdin or a Memphis Bleak. You know, we kind of worked on those projects, SWV. So I was there as an intern, and then I became the assistant director of operations the same time, same days. So I graduated with 2 jobs and lived in Boston for some time.
Girl, you was out here grinding early in the game.
Yes.
So early.
I definitely did.
Absolutely. So after the radio opportunity, you know, what was next for you? Did you say, you know what? Okay, I graded. I got this opportunity. I'm on air. Want more? Was there anything else that you were chasing after?
Yes, being that, you know, at 18, I thought I was for sure, like, I'm going to be the next Simone Smalls. And Simone Smalls she is a publicist, beautiful Black woman who worked at Susan Blonde Inc. at the time. I met her through Carlos King, who was one of my great mentors. And a great executive producer now. And I was like, I'm going to be a publicist. People love me. I can write. I can pitch. That's what I'm going to do. So left Boston, moved to New York, started working at Inside Edition. And Inside Edition is actually in the same CBS building as BET. Mm-hmm. So it was just like my past all over again. I'm like, I see the same people. I'm in a different space. And I started there basically really entry level, like office support assistant in the mailroom. You know, I went and got the tapes and I did all this extra craziness that I didn't want to do it, but it was a part of starting over, and that's how I felt. And when the opportunity presented itself to work as a publicity assistant for the VP of Inside Edition, you know, which is CBS King World Production, I jumped on it. I spoke to the VP, sent her my writing samples, and I was literally hired on the spot.
Wow.
So I did, you know, I worked there for some time, maybe a year. But honestly, everyone around me at the company was so complacent. They've been there for 10 years. That was their only job. So I then left Inside Edition and I said, you know what? I'm going to do everything that I want. I left. I did PR on my own. And then I worked for a bigger agency, which was independent in its own self. I still freelanced and I still blogged and I interviewed celebrities, all like just freelancing and not working for a company after Inside Edition.
And so how do you feel like that freelancing and even stepping out and doing your own thing kind of gave you the boost and the confidence to continue on down the line of, you know, just creating the way you are?
Well, it gives you the boost and the confidence, but you have to have the faith. You have to really step out on faith. I am a believer in the universe. Like I told the universe, hey, I'm 23, but I want to interview celebrities. I want to blog. I want to try this PR thing on my own. You know what I mean? I had to believe in myself, and I'm very blessed to have great people around me to say, Zenova, we believe in you. You can do it. So I was very, very fortunate to say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn my craft. I'm going to build as a person. And I was able to get all this knowledge within itself. PR is one thing, and then still freelancing for BET, in their corporate office for their special events. I gained skill sets that I wasn't going to gain at Inside Edition. Right. The same thing for interviewing celebrities and understanding and building that relationship and that rapport that this is what I do, take me serious. So it kind of works out, but I give it to faith and a great, great support system.
Absolutely. And, as we look at everything that you have done in the past, like you said, the ability to get along well with people, having faith, being a great writer, and just really having that wit and wherewithal to kind of maneuver in a certain kind of way and connecting yourself with the proper people and having that support system led you to the thing I talked about in the very beginning, because I thought it was the dopest idea ever. And I really enjoyed myself at the event. It's 40 ounce and waffles. Okay. Now, nobody thinks about putting those two together. So where did this come from? Mm-hmm. What is 40 ounce and waffles about for those that are listening? And, mm-hmm. how were you able to take this one event and now have grown it to a tour?
Okay, I cannot take all the credit. I'm very blessed to have moved to California and left everything in New York behind, but my humble beginnings in New York led me to this amazing, vibe in LA. So myself and my two business partners, all beautiful women from the East Coast, moved out here. Again, like myself, stepped out on stage, and we were like, New Yorkers, we brunch all day. All day, everyone is at a brunch and we're enjoying it, and there's some type of day party. So we basically kind of to use the vibes to create out here in LA. It was almost like a selfish thing. We wanted to bring a piece of our culture, the East Coast vibe, to LA. And what that really did was, the week before BET weekend, we sat around and was like, hey, let's have a brunch. And my good friends, the name of it, 40s and Waffles. 40s to pay homage to where we are. You think California, you think gangster rap, right, in terms of the music. You do think, you think 40s, sometimes it comes up. It was something we did see, in the iconic LA movies. And then waffles is just to play on the brunch, so everyone knows it's within brunch hours. So we started it right before BET weekend, and the first one was just explosive. The amount of respect and attention we got the first time was just incredible. But it all comes back from the three of us are in the same field: marketing, PR, branding. So it kind of worked for us, Right.
And so, starting, like you said, doing a BET weekend, you've grown it to having it in New York during All-Star weekend, doing it in Toronto to during a Caravana. What was the again, we talk about faith to say, you know what, we're going to just jump out the window with this, and we're going to take this thing to New York. We're going to take it to Toronto. Now you've been on, you're international.
You know what? Again, coming from understanding, this event is basically the ultimate day party experience. You understand? We attract key influencers, celebrities. We bring in real event concepts and, into life. So I think for us, it made sense. I feel like if you worked in the industry and you understand it, and again, that was my thing. I understood event production. I understood marketing. I understood branding. I understood, if you bring these three things, influencers, and we call them socialites, celebrities, and different activations to one space, it's going to work. And I was very, very blessed early on in my career, 2011 and 2012, to have worked with Francois Blanchette at MCMPR. And at the time, no one coined what I was doing. I was creating decks. I was reaching out to brands. I was securing money for artists. I was building and bridging the gap. And, in school, that was never taught to me.
Right.
So for Francois to kind of guide me through it and understand, and at that time early on, only helped me for this. So I give praise to my past and the people who, like I said, guided me and molded me into who I am. So I took that concept of creating decks, basically, understanding you pick the best event where young influencers and celebrities, and, you know, you bring the event to them. And then the people are who we do it for. You know, the everyday people who aren't in this industry, I want to give them that experience, not to wait online, to get free things, to walk away with swag, to say I had the best time at 40s and Waffles because everyone enjoyed themselves, you know?
Right.
So like you said, Toronto and New York All-Star Weekend was our third installation, and people couldn't believe it. They thought this was we've been doing this for years.
No,
and I'm
seriously.
like, no, this is our third brunch.
Seriously, because the way the setup was in Toronto, I honestly thought, like, yo, they've been doing this forever. Because, you know, I know you and I follow you. I know you kind of just created it. But it's just like, it was seamless. It was a beautiful atmosphere with beautiful people, dope DJs. And then you brought in an artist. YG was present. Just like you said,
yes.
You know, a combination of everything. And from what you told me, you also have a chance to work with him on top of everything. So how was that? And let's talk about this jumping into LA. This is a big difference from New York City. You know, you came from New York and now you're just jumping and living in LA.
I know. You know what? Honest to God, August 2013, I walked away from the company I was working with, right? I just was like, I had enough of New York City. New York is it's very cold, you know? It definitely it can definitely make or break you. And I'm definitely the person I feel like I did great in New York, but you can get blindsided. You know what I mean? You can continue to work and not even realize what you're doing because you're working and not acknowledging, you know, the great things you're doing. I would be with like Gladys Knight holding her hand and not paying attention to it. And I'm like, I can't live like this.
Right.
So my move was for me to pay attention and to be present. That was really my move. My last event was with Angela Simmons at the Henry Bendel store on Fifth Ave, and we killed it. Did my event, finished at 9 o'clock. My flight was early in the morning for LA. I really didn't have a setup. I knew I was coming out here to do a quick interview. And I said, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm not leaving.
Right.
I left with $500, and a week later, my sister said, hey, I need $400, and I had to send it back. So I dealt with that $100 and made it work. 2 years later, I'm still here.
Wow.
Right? But the back end to that story, leaving New York to move to California, not knowing the market, but having come, you know, I've been out here since 2008 with BET back and forth working the awards.
Right.
You know, we've been doing that. Like, I was a liaison in college for BET. You know, I was a talent rep. So coming out here, I wasn't as plugged in. But I said, I'm going to give it my all. Right. You know, I'm like, I'm going to apply, whatever the case is. Long story short, I applied for Revolt. And it was with a position with someone I knew from my past. I've known this executive since I was 18. I was like, I'm going to get this job. This is so easy. Like, God, I thought my setup was right. Something wound up happening. I didn't get the job. And like I said, I wasn't going to leave. I stayed.
Wow.
And again, you brought up the YG thing. I do work with him, a young lady that I used to hire in New York. The same lady I hired for my Angela Simmons event. You know, her and I stayed in touch. I hired her when I needed her to work my red carpets. I hired her if I needed a quick media alert done. You know, I just always made sure she was taken care of because my thing is we have to help the next woman or the next person, you know?
Exactly.
Helped her. The job that I left when I was in New York, I put her in position to work for these companies so she can then provide for herself. So, you know, it was the act of doing good for a person that led me to YG. Wow. And I believe in omens. I don't know if anyone else believes in omens and the universe and faith and God. But it was like I was meant to work with his circle. And it just worked out in a weird situation. I helped a young lady, and again, a great friend of mine, Abby, get a few jobs. She met someone who was looking for someone in LA to work with this young guy named YG. At the time, I didn't know who he was. This was 2013, going into 2014. And I just had to learn who he was, did an interview, and I'm here now, 2 years.
Wow. Girl, your story is one of, one just jumping out, like you said, moving to LA, $500, you got to send 4 back. And, just really, it's a story of karma, because your karma was always good that you put out and it came back to you good. And so, like you said, some people may not believe in God, omens and just being good and you reap what you sow, but exactly everything that you sowed, you reap the benefit of being a good worker, of being consistent, being good to others and being supportive. And now look at the things that are unfolding for you when you put your faith to test. So I just,
absolutely,
I just think it's so dope. But I know alongside all of these great things, there came some ugly times where you probably were like, I don't even know how I'm going to make this. And what were some difficulties, through your transition period, through your, time of just even getting to LA, being in New York, going through school, difficulties that you can't remember, that at times you may have thought like, what, this ain't worth it, or maybe I should be doing something else, or maybe I need to go back home and get some things in order?
The most difficult part of my career, honestly, was moving to LA. LA tested my faith. It tested how strong I am as a person. It tested everything about me, saying at 22, 23, I want to be this entrepreneur where I sit at home and I wake up at 8 and I'm at my desk at 9 and I still have my pajamas on, and I work from my desk. I made my room comfortable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's all I knew. And do you know how afraid I was to think I had to go back to a desk? I didn't think I could. I was like, it's been like 3 years now. I don't think I can really do this. I don't want to conform. I do not want to go back to a desk. There's nothing wrong with corporate. There's nothing wrong with working at the best firms and agencies. But I had set this path for myself where I'm like, I have multiple jobs. This is what makes me special.
Right.
I've had experience here, there, this, and that helped me along the way. So that was the difficult part when I came out here and I did everything in my power to get a job. And when it wasn't working for me, I had to hit the reset button. And you have to know when to hit the reset button. It's okay. And my reset button is like, I'm not giving up. I'm just starting over.
Wow.
And again, a lot of, our generation, we're a little older.
Right.
But the generation under us, I do my best to let them know, listen, if you want a job, you have to do more.
Right.
It's not about applying on LinkedIn. It's not about applying on Indeed. You have to do 3 other things because there's 4 other people ahead of you getting that job. You understand? So I took everything that I've ever applied and how I've helped other individuals either get a job or internship. And this is what I was doing out here for myself. And it wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? I need to hit the reset. And I hit the reset button, and I took it a step further. I reached out to temp agencies. I called individuals I knew. I let people from my past know. And I'm great at following up and keeping in touch. Hey, I'm in LA. I've relocated. If you hear anything, let me know. And those simple things made a difference. 4 months later, before meeting YG in November, I was working at MTV in their Comedy Central division because I have the Viacom experience. It was a temp agency, but it was a temp position, and it was 2-3 weeks. But that's when that happened, and then the YG thing happened. They asked me to come back, and I didn't. And that was me saying, this is it. You have to do more if you want a better result. You can't just do one thing anymore. And I just wish our generation just understands that. But that was the most difficult thing. Thinking I had to go back to a desk. And, it freaks me out.
Right.
It freaked me out so much.
It's like conforming back into this way of where you're not able to be creative. Absolutely. In that standpoint. Absolutely. And just not even reaching at that place. He's like, oh, no. I'm not about to go back to this desk. That's what's not about to happen. And I think that's the beauty in being in the position that you're in. And really just taking those necessary steps, like you said, to really do more, hit that reset button and to reach out. And, of course, within the G code, we talk about the codes that you live by. And I feel like you have dropped a few throughout our conversation. But if you can think about some of the codes that you have lived by and some of the codes that have helped you along the way, what would they be?
My codes. My mom, since I was a kid, always explained to me, like, you need to have a great foundation. And that foundation needs to be, again, whether you believe in God, the universe, you need to have that foundation. You need to also dream big. She early on, you can do anything in this world. You have one shot at it. And you can do it. And I really, really got that. Me wanting to move to California was since I was 6, 7 years old. Like, this was a dream of mine. So when my family and friends, they do see me out here, they're like, you're really living out your dream. Right. And I am. I feel like I'm in the third phase of my life. I say that now. And the third phase is really my adulthood, part of it, which is great. So dreaming big and having a great, humble, foundation is definitely one. 2 would be, pay attention to the universe and what it has to offer. It's always talking to us. Right. It's letting us know our next move. Again, everything seemed seamless in my career, but it really wasn't. I handled every single scenario and situation to my best of my ability, and I did it with my heart, and it worked for me. Like I said, I worked at MCM PR agency. And I got that job literally the day I interviewed Swiftie and Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony and met his publicist, Francois Blanchett and Mo Blake that day. And I got that interview by reaching out to a young lady on Twitter, finding her email address, asking her, requesting an informational interview. And these are some of the tools that I tell the young individuals that I'm working with. Reached out to her, sent the informational email, explained to her, hey, I'm at Inside Edition, but my goal is to interview celebrities, to be on the red carpet. I worked in radio. This is what I want to do. 3 months later, that's how I got the interview at Madison Square Garden. And this is when Swift was just initially talking about Reebok and the Reebok partnership. Wow. So you have to pay attention to your universe. I paid attention, and everything kind of worked. 3 would be when the opportunities aren't there, create them. You know what I mean? If they don't present themselves, create. We are creative beings. There's nothing we cannot create with the social media platforms that we have, with YouTube, with, just letting other individuals know what you want to do is very important. So I'm all about creating. If you want to create a water bottle, create it. Right. If you want to create a job in freaking Arkansas, go create the job and make it make sense. Plan it out. 4 will probably be believe in yourself at all times. And I know that's sometimes the hardest thing. And again, like you said, the pretty, the ugly, the bad. I don't even put a lot of things on Instagram. It's still a lot. It's still mysterious to people. Like, what do you do? Who do you work with? I'm so confused. Right. And so to me, believing in myself and being grounded and grateful is big. And I have to tell myself, like, every day I'm like, you deserve it, believe it, and I work towards everything I have. I have so much more to get, trust me. I'm not finished, but I do listen to my heart. And I think the 5th one, which is the most important to me, they're all important, but give it all back. Mm-hmm. It's not for us to have. Give it all back. And you know, at 25 for me, purpose meant a lot. You know, we try to figure out our purpose, especially in this industry or whatever is what you're doing. Sometimes you get lost. And the meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. You know, Picasso. And that was the best thing in life to me. And so all our blessings, we just need to return them. So that would be my fifth one.
I love it. And, you know, it's funny because you've always been this bubbly, beautiful person inside. And I said, you know what, let me look up her name because I'm really big on that, right? And for whatever reason, it's so hard for me to even find the meaning of my name. But this is what they said about your name. You are an idealist, a dreamer, and sometimes a mistake person. Since you have a lot of vision, you should be an inspiration for others. And Zenova, that is indeed what you are.
Oh, wait. Do you know okay, I'm 27 years old. All my life, I'm telling you, I would be rich if for every person who've asked me to spell my name, where I got it from, I love it, what's the meaning. I've never heard the meaning. That just really warms my heart because my name belongs to my great-grandmother. So to me, it's a family name and nothing else. You know, I didn't even think it had a meaning. Thank you so much.
Girl, like I'm really sitting here reading it. I'm going to send you the link because it's really, really dope. So you got to check that out, okay? And since you are a dreamer and a visionary, you know, what is next for Zenova? You know, everything that you have going on at this moment, you know, what is next for you as we roll up to 2016?
Oh my God, I'm going to burst into 2016 like a Beyonce on stage.
I'm with you, girl.
That's how I'm going to attack this thing. But the next thing for me is, again, remaining humble, giving back. Like I said, maybe 3 years ago, I started something really small. It was, you know, from intern to XYZ, and I just want to focus on, you know, I want to tell the stories just like you are, tell the stories of my friends and other individuals, but not only in the entertainment field, but doctors, psychologists, accountants, people in finance. How did you get from your internship to where you are now? Because our generation, they don't even know the jobs that are out there. There's this, you know, they have these app jobs, they have these tech jobs, they have these design jobs. I want them to go on this site and to just be excited to know the endless possibilities, the endless jobs that were created based on talent. So from intern to XYZ, 40s and Waffles, we're going to kill it again this year. You know, we're gearing up for All-Star Weekend in Toronto in February on the 13th. So we're definitely turning up, and I know I'm going to see you.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome. You know, we have, and then we'll relaunch again because it is a summer brunch, but we're going to, you know, be in LA. We're going to hit Miami. We're going to hit Houston. We're going to hit Atlanta and really take it up a notch. I'm very fortunate to work with YG, who just put out 3 songs this past week. So we're turning up this summer, and I'm going to continue to help him on his team, his management team, build his 400 brand, and just really work with a great person who I consider a friend and a boss, and I just love him totally. So that's what I'm doing, giving it all back, helping people as much as I can, and, you know, doing my best to be a great person.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like 2016 is going to be yet another great year for you because 2015 was great, and I'm expecting major things. And however I can be a part to support and to help, you got me here.
Trust me, you'll receive some emails and text messages in a few. I'm locking it all in.
Good. And tell the folks how they can follow you, or more so, you know, your events and, you know, the social media tags, websites. Give it to us all.
Yes, for the brunch, the website is 40sandwaffles.com. The Twitter handle is 40s and Waffles. The Instagram, it reads the same, 40s and Waffles. My personal, I don't consider myself a brand. It's really weird that you asked me that. But my social media handles are just my first name, Zenova, and my last name, King. So super simple. And that's it, you know, and hopefully, again, when I build more into 40, from intern to XYZ, I'll definitely send you that info. So, you know, your mentees, because I know you have a bunch of them, can hopefully, you know, look at it and be inspired.
Absolutely. We'll make sure of it. Well, my go-getters, you just got a dose of some motivation and some G-code, so I hope you took notes. If not, you can replay this joint inside your iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Podcast Addict, and all those great places that this podcast is available. And don't forget to follow her, support her, and if you are in the area for All-Star Weekend and any of the areas that 40 ounces at, please make sure you come out, support, and make sure you go ahead and support anything that YG has happening, especially once the album drop, and any mixtapes, and purchase the songs on iTunes. Again, you're inside the G Code with me, ADRI.V, the Go Getta. Don't forget to follow me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms at ADRI.V, the Go Getta. And don't forget to check into the G Code each and every Wednesday, and you can always play it back at the places I just told you: SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, and Podcast Addict. And once again, as always, welcome to the G Code.